What's up, guys? Labor Day weekend here, and I'm about to spend a lot of time with my car today. Gonna do a strip down wash with the dish soap and clay bar it and throw down some good carnauba wax and some sealant, I guess. And as you all know, it's pretty labor intensive process, so it's gonna be a long day. But this video actually is about me turning into a black blob, but me considering trading in this 2015 WRX for a new, maybe 2016 STI. I know, right? I just got this car, but hey, people do it all the time. And I'm thinking about doing it because I don't know. I just want the full WRX experience, if you will. And I've been doing, periodic modifications to this car, not necessarily in hopes of making it a WRX, but just getting the most out of this car that I can. And I can spend a lot more money on this car. And I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep doing that. I enjoy the tinkering and working on it and stuff, but performance-wise, I don't know. So my hang-ups really about this. I mean, I know I'm gonna lose some money on the deal. That's just the way it goes. But I'm already making payments. I'm already on the hook for a couple of years of payments anyhow. So really, my philosophy has always been, get what you want. I don't like people that lowball stuff and get cheap stuff. Oh, because it's cheaper, but they really wanted something better, and then they end up buying that something better a year or two later. And in a way, they kind of wasted money. And I kind of bit myself in the ass with this. But the only reason why I got a WRX over an STI is because the practicality of it. I commute over 100 miles a day. I drive this thing to and from a commuter lot, and then I get on the bus to work. So it's a lot of driving. So I'm doing a lot of miles. And when I test drove the WRX, this is a limited WRX, and I test drove a base model STI. And, I weighed the pros and cons. I liked the fact that this car had the Harman Kardon in it. I liked the moonroof on it. That's huge for me. I had a car years ago that had a sunroof or a moonroof, and I loved it. And I've been lamenting it ever since I didn't have one. So I always wanted another car with a moonroof, which this had. So this is just a feature-laden WRX versus a base STI. And that basically swayed my decision, in addition to the older EJ engine in the STI that I'm sure everybody knows about. I think that's almost like a 15-year-old engine, something close to that. Doesn't get very good miles per gallon. And depending on where you go on the internet, there's horror stories that the engine just has massive failures, or there's people who say, hey, I have an STI and I have 100,000 miles on it, and it's fine. Of course you're going to have your anomalies, your lemons. That's the way it is with mechanical items. But from my own research, the engines in the WRX STI models are very failure prone. That's just my take. That's what I get from it. You may have had a different experience, but ultimately when it came down to deciding between these two cars, that was the big hurdle for me, was the EJ motor and the poor fuel efficiency and the very likelihood of possible engine failure at some point. So I went with the WRX. I got a loaded WRX, and I was happy with my decision, and I'm still happy with my decision. This car is awesome. I love this car. Very fun car. But again, it's kind of one of those you want what you want things, and I have no problem shelling out a little bit more money for the STI. I already know it requires premium fuel, which I already put in this anyhow. I'm already running 93 octane in this. So, The cost of running a higher grade fuel is not the issue. The cost is, how much is it going to cost me in fuel expenses a week with all my commuting. When I get that STI, if I do, I'll probably be going to the pump as frequently as I was when I was driving that bad boy every day to work, which is a 2005 Dodge Magnum. And I mean, that car got pretty good fuel economy. It had the MDS system where it shuts off four of the cylinders, so it oscillates between 4 and 8, and I got pretty good mileage on that car. But it slays me to think that I would be getting a car in 2016, smaller 4-cylinder engine, 2.5 liter, and the mileage on it is just so poor. I don't know. So I'm wondering your thoughts on this. If people could weigh in with some comments. Ultimately I'm going to make my own decision, but what I want to know, I just want people to weigh in maybe on certain aspects that I haven't thought about yet, points that I may have missed that might help me make my decision one way or another. What I would really like is for Subaru to come out with a FA20 base motor like in this car, but a newer, more powerful one for the STI, and it very well may be in the works. I don't know. Maybe somebody does know and they can confirm this. Just like when I bought this car, this is a 2005 Dodge Magnum, and this car, I bought it the first year it came out, and I was just so hyped for this car. When I saw it, I had to have it. But when I went on the internet and researched, everything I could find about the car was the 6.1 liter prototype that they had made. The body was different, had different panels on it, and the car looked more aggressive. And when I went and inquired at the dealership and a couple other dealerships, they were like, "Oh no, that's a prototype model. They're not making that. They're not making that. This is what we got right now. This is what we have right now. This is it. 5.7 liter. They're not making anything more powerful than this." And this is before Dodge started getting into this whole horsepower thing that they're into now. This was, like I said, late 2004, early to mid 2005, before the 300 and the Magnum and the Chargers really took off. So, talking to the dealership, and maybe they were correct. Maybe at that point Dodge hadn't decided to make a bigger engine car. But close to about 6 to 8 months after I bought this car, maybe a year, they announced that they were making an SRT8 Magnum, and I was hotly pissed because that was the car I wanted. I wanted what I was seeing in the pictures, the prototype car, which was basically an SRT8 Magnum. So, I'm at the point now with this car, the WRX, like, should I just get what I had initially wanted to begin with, which was